So I imagine this would have been called 101st day of the Trump regime. Who am I? I am but the weaver of John C. Roseman, California. 7:14 in the morning, West Coast time. It is April the 30th, 2025. Trying to finish off breakfast before it finishes me off. And yes, I got my coffee and I got my milk for the acid reflux. Because it's going to get a lot worse in the next 100 days with the old Trump bag spewing off his crap. Now, I missed what he was saying last night, and I was trying to see if there was any transcripts of what he was doing with his spiel last night. And I know the independents and corporates are trying to tear these things apart left and right, but they've also looked at Trump's record. He's become the worst president in U.S. history. And he's crashing and burning the economy because he wants to refix it in his way. Merchandise coming overseas are less and less in shipments. We're getting less and less. So Christmas is going to be very tight to almost non-existent if we were going to be depending upon gifts all over the place. Not to mention other food stores or anything else essentials that we're going to be getting overseas for our own. If we can't manufacture it, we don't have the equipment for it. But we need the other things to go with it. But right now, and concerning about certain people trapped in other prisons right now, including the ones that are capturing the headlines. Well, try this one. Trump says he could, but he's not going to. Because one guy, supposedly according to Trump, has the MS-13 on his knuckles. It was proven that he doesn't have the MS-13 on his knuckles. But it doesn't matter. He's not going to do it anyway. He's a bad guy, so he doesn't want it. But he also made clear in his intentions in different interviews, off and on, and off-color comments are being recorded, that he would also send Americans, or even birthright citizens who have been born here, doesn't matter how old they are, send them out of the country. You don't want them. If they're bad, they're breaking laws, they get to be exported. Screw due process. Try this one. In Oklahoma, I think within the past several days, we've actually had major report filtered up through the Rachel Maddow show of this one family got terrorized by our own federal government doing an illegal raid. It was the wrong place. But they didn't care. No cards, no identifications, no nothing. Just went in, tore apart the place, and left. And terrorized a woman and her girls coming out in underwear, exposed in rain, and basically tore apart the house. I heard about that last night. I had to go searching for the video. It happened about 3 or 4 nights ago in Oklahoma City. Department of Homeland Security, uh, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and there was also another one involved in that one. And they came into this woman's home, supposedly with a search warrant, but it was for a different place altogether. I don't know how they got that screwed up. You don't go into a place unless you're sure you know what you're looking at. But apparently, they're slouching off on this damn thing. And this has a problem with me on this one. Because Rachel Maddow was talking about this family. She was saying to them, we're all citizens. Well, we are supposed to be citizens, aren't we? But since when do U.S. citizens get to be invaded by the federal government without due process or without any warrants, without even an identification card to show who and what they were? Not even a name and badge number? They came in fully armed with armaments. They couldn't even do a recon first to see whether or not if this was the right place. No, just barged in, and then they confiscated money. I think food, their computers. They left them almost with nothing except a torn up place to live. No apologies. And everyone's going, the ones who raided that place, the federal government's not saying a word. They're not saying, oops. They don't want another federal lawsuit on their hands. So just shut up. How is it that when you go into a place and you see this happening, and this is supposed to be what? There was a clip out there from KFOR, Oklahoma, regarding the raid. I'm going to get those links. I'm going to put them into my description. We just have no answers why. Why did they do this? I'm going to get the interviews as well from MSNBC and put them in my descriptions as well. That disturbed me last night. I thought I had problems sleeping the other night, but this one. American woman and her daughters thrown out into the lawn, raining, naked, just barely with underwear on her. But this was supposed to be what? The story was the federal guys were supposed to be raiding the home for immigrants with weapons. So you break into a home without the right search warrant, doesn't matter. You got the Alien Sedition Act or Sedition? Yeah. Alien Powers Act or something like that. Gives them full authority to go into a home, scare the crap out of them. Not to mention there was an executive order or a direct order coming from the Department of Justice on this one saying that it's okay to bypass warrants. They're not needed for raids like this. When you can't even go to a judge to get the damn paperwork to get your legal ass covered. If these things were brought up before a judge afterwards, they'd be getting their asses reamed because they didn't do it the proper procedure. Proper procedure was going through the justice system. But no, the Department of Justice is getting the word from Donald Trump. You don't need the courts. And because there are certain other acts that had been signed into law are giving the federal government more and more discretionary to circumnavigate anything and everything about the court systems, about due process and anything else regarding it. This is the world we live in. This is the world we voted in November 2024. I am not letting people forget this. We voted this shit in. We knew this was coming. Yeah, I hold on to the blame. I'll hold on to the anger at this point over here. Because it's not right. It's not right to do this, period. Bad enough we got tariff situations that we have to pay up an arm and a leg. We're losing jobs. We've got companies laying off people. One was practically closing down, getting to the point of COVID or worse. But we allowed this shit to happen. All of our protesting right now. We got the government's attention, and they're still tone deaf. They don't care. They think they're doing it for people. And Trump's still going out for his rallies. As President of the United States, he's going out for rallies, and he wants to gather as much support as he can. Meanwhile, the constituents are going over to the town halls. They're getting the constituents, the constituents at the town halls are yelling and screaming at their representatives at this point, left and right, telling them, "You represent us, not Trump. What is your major malfunction? Do your damn job." The problem, Republicans are laughing their asses off or hiding. For the ones who have courage enough to go in front of their constituents and laugh in their face, they want absolute loyalty as well from their base, from their constituents. We have midterms coming up. We have midterms coming up in the 26th. We have them next year. If we are going to survive and have some of our population left, I hope and pray they make the right decision and change their damn representatives. But even if we happen to get the power of Democrats back in both Senate or House or both, if we get them in there, that's fine. But if not, I don't know how we're going to do this. But if we do, it's not going to change the fact if we happen to get Trump impeached. We already got those on file, on record. They won't come in this particular Congress. But if it does, if it comes on the next Congress, it's going to be up to Trump whether or not he's going to be following the law or not. And it's going to be up to the judges, if they still have any power left, to take on the responsibility. And then who the hell is going to be taking Trump out of office, I wonder. I kept saying about the line of succession. Apparently nobody's picking up on the damn thing. Line of succession is you go from the president down to the vice president, down to the speaker, down to the leadership of the Senate. Then after that, you've got other cabinet members that you go through. It goes about 20 or so. Maybe less. And the last person on the list is Department of Homeland Security to be president. So, what's happening today? Nobody has a clue. How about this one? Arguments are being heard in the Supreme Court today whether or not public money should be paying for private religious chartered schools, such as Catholic schools or any other kind of religious denomination. Public money taken out to fund the charter. I hated the idea a long time ago when he started flouting that stuff up. When I was growing up as a kid and hearing about charter schools. And then I'm seeing in action at this point. There's one thing I'm seeing: the Catholic schools, yes. They have to live by donations. But public funding? Diverting money for the public education? Making it worse and worse for the schools to work? Not to mention teachers fired? Oh, they want to buy merit. They want to buy this and buy that to be hired in a job. But no, you're damaging all of our people. You don't want intelligent people. You want stupid people. From some of the remarks I've been hearing and reading from the independents, that the government and those who follow it want stupid people. It's a privilege to go to college. Should have been a right. And only if people can afford it. Even a community college can do a world of good. But in order to qualify for a community college, you have to be on a level which we're not. We have states putting more and more restrictions, even though they got the worst marks in being rated as a good school or not. But they want the private entities to get more of the public money. There was even a story I came across a few years back where Texas schools were suffering because somewhere up in Colorado or Utah, the private schools were sucking up the money. Public money coming out of Texas to fund another state's private. And some of the private work was also in Texas, but headquartered. The governor signed off on it. The governor wanted it. Both. So now, is it right for the taxpayer to pay for charter and draw money from the public? Meaning, whatever kind of public entity you came out of, you saw how rotten it was right now, or in your time when you graduated. Maybe it had a lot fuller funds coming into it. These days, worse and worse, and programs going. Barely read, write, do numbers. Barely comprehend anything. Companies and corporations are looking for manual labor now. Oh, you'll be trained in an occupational as long as you get to pay for the damn thing. How are you going to pay for the damn thing? How are you going to pay for occupational? Money has to come out of your pocket. Unless you got some kind of special grant. Ooh, grant money. Okay, well, is this going to be for a private entity or for a corporate's responsibility or a corporate's want or needs? I love a way to wake up in the morning and finding a world even more tighter and restrictor. But I'm supposed to be okay by that. I'm supposed to be okay by that and feel great about myself this morning. I got an interview. Actually, I got another therapy session, and I'm supposed to be happy about what's happening. I'm not. Last night, I wasn't feeling happy about it. Last night, I was watching some of these people just trampling on everybody else. Other states having their judges threatened because if they didn't play along with the federal guideline, with the federal rule book, that they're going to be threatened, even by the Supreme Court justices, saying you got to play along with the Trump right now, otherwise you're going to be losing your position. Maybe disbarred. You got schools belly aching that their students are getting taken out of school. Getting taken out of school because of what? The freedom of speech got involved? We can't protest anymore? We had unions. We had a service union protesting out in Los Angeles. Thousands of them who do the dirty, rotten jobs that nobody likes to do or get hired for. But those people are unionized because they want the benefits and they also want the money. Even for being a janitor, you think it's just going to be $2 an hour for a janitor and that's about it and you're going to live on that damn thing? No, they want more than that. I mean, hell, if Newsom had pushed through the bill, if he really wanted that wage hike pushed, and he did, a lot of the businesses are scratching their heads in the fast food industry whether or not they can actually maintain it or not. Curtail the hours, curtail the whatever they can, just to keep their operations going. Now I can understand maybe about $10 or $12 an hour to start off with. When I started off with the minimum wage back in the 80s, it was $3.50. I got older, got into office work, I'd be about $8. The lowest maintained above the federal, a little bit above the state, but still survivable, barely during those times. So now we got to deal with this. We're dealing with the wage gap, and now the benefits are being taken up because we don't have the money in the state. The money's being taken out, and not by the federal, by people moving out, including companies. One of the companies actually had a CEO that practically ruined our infrastructure of the government system. And he wanted those contracts, the publicly funded contracts, money coming out of people's pocket to pay him so he can raid and pilfer and plunder and pillage everybody. Because he wanted the money. He's a billionaire. He's entitled. He wants to go to Mars. Fucker's never been up in space before. He has his ships. The Falcon rockets. Where the fuck was he? What was it, several years back when they started doing the commercial manned up to the International Space Station? Where the fuck was he? Why wasn't he in line? Does he have a heart condition? Does he have health conditions? What was his major malfunction? He wanted to stay in the background and just watch everything go up and say, I want to go to Mars. You dumb motherfucker. You don't even know how to get to Mars. Oh yeah, it builds this nice big arrow piece of shit out of publicly tax-funded money. Not even managed by NASA. Oh hell, let's got NASA. Let's go to JPL and say, okay guys, everything that you have, you're gone. No more programs. You're just gutted. You're just a shell. And we go to every other damn place out there that NASA deals with for earth sciences, marine sciences, space sciences. Oh, we like your sciences. Bye-bye. They're gone. We need the money. But we want to go to Mars. We want to go to the moon, but we don't want anything else. We're going to have Musk do this for us. Or any other private entity. But bye-bye. Meanwhile, government-funded agencies are sending up their crews into space. And eventually one of them are going to be establishing the first manned base on the moon. Musk wants to get his ship up to Mars. He wants to be on Mars. The asshole's got to realize you got to train for the damn ship. But no, he's got his automotive factory, if you can call it automotive. They're pieces of junk. And it's supposed to have been healthy for the environment. All that electrical battery crap. Hell, we just might as well stick with the damn diesel fuel for right now. It's the only thing we got so reliable right now. Because the vehicles he's making are falling apart. You ding them, and they're breaking apart. But he wants more money for his stuff. He wants to go to Mars. How about just going up to the International Space Station, hang out for about a few weeks, and then come right back down? You think you can do that? You lazy shit? I've got all these people trying to pay the billionaires off by getting these spaceships up. Virgin Galactic's out of business. They haven't been in the business for a hell of a long while. Haven't been in there. Haven't done her nothing. Out of it, out of the contracts. That wasn't bad enough. Oh yeah. Boeing is still struggling with theirs. They want to get a ship up there to crew. Right now, we can only do the 4-man crew pop fly up to the station and back. That's about it. Russians have already got their own space station up there with the Chinese. They're having a field day. China's getting a go at their space race. They've seen all the mistakes we've made, and now they're saying, well, we can do it better than the Americans. Right now, yeah. I have to say that. It's not to piss off the Americans, it's they're right. They'll steal everything else just to see if they've got everything else right, and they'll copy and then send their crap up. Not to mention the Russians still do the same thing. Musk still wants to go to Mars. Yeah, I'm still in that thing. I'd seen astronauts train better and harder than he. He doesn't know jack shit for an intelligent guy. And he doesn't give a shit. So we're seeing what's happening. We're seeing how our society is crumbling. We're going to be seeing, and it's scary as hell because the less cargo we get into the ports, weeks after that, we're going to see less and less on the shelves. Anything that we have replaceable that we need right now, they're manufactured overseas, there's going to be tariffed like crazy. Food products, household products, repair products for our utilities, even our vehicles. If we depended upon foreign goods coming in, we're going to be paying more and more of the price. If we want a certain special food coming from a different country, we're going to be paying twice, 5 times, maybe 6 times. Who knows? Who knows what the tariff's going to be like? But the cost is going to be coming down to the retailer, actually to the retailer, and then to us, to consumers. So whatever we try to get, if we can't manufacture it, we need the supplies for it. But if we can't get the supplies for it, but let's just say we can get the supplies for maybe a few manufacturing places, it's going to be outrageous in the prices. And all the promises I heard from a gas bag coming into office that we voted in November 2024 elections. He said it was going to change everything. Yeah, he did. Everything is crash and burn. And I'm still waiting for the cops to burst in and toss my world out here, laugh their asses off, and disappear. But at least I got my sweatpants on. I got my shirt on. Do they want that? Do they really want that? I mean, it's bad enough going into a home, storming in with guns ready to fire at women and children, not armed. They had school the next day. They can't go back to school. But if they could, they're going to have to be depending upon charity organizations who are already stretched thin right now. Because I don't know what they're going to do next. Lastly, we still got a measles outbreak going. With our vaccinator, or actually anti-vaccinator, still adamant that vaccines are poisonous, we got measles epidemic spreading on his watch. He wanted natural immunization. He wants death before you get the natural immunization. That magical umbrella. We had the vaccinations to keep some of that other stuff away from us so we didn't die from it. Not from polio, not from measles, not from something else that we already eradicated. I don't even know what the name of the damn disease or condition is. But no, we've got more cases happening in Texas right now. And the governor over there doesn't give a shit about vaccinations. He's an anti-vaxxer himself. The hospitals are getting their fair share of customers, maybe more. And it's spreading. If it goes beyond state borders and crosses into other state borders, will the governors actually activate any kind of emergency medical services? This is the world we live in. This is the one we voted in office. I kept saying for a long while, 1776 and 1860, what's this represent? I don't suppose people remembered their U.S. history about 1776. Only we created our own Frankenstein monster to overrule us. I did say overrule. I didn't say rule over either. So, how's your day been so far? That being said,